I welcome you to another section of our class. For this course, Mental Health Management, this is the second module. This is module 2. And the topic that we'll be looking at in this module is theories of mental health. So we should not forget that in module 1, that is in our first module, the previous one, we introduced ourselves to mental health management, where we mainly discussed the meaning of mental health management and the importance of mental health management, also the impacts of mental health management on the individual and society as a whole. I believe we've been able to justify that to some appreciable extent. So now we'll be moving to the second module, which is the theories of mental health. Where we'll be looking at those major theories when we are talking about mental health, different perspectives and psychologies. So now, according to different scholars, I know. And you should not forget that this is the second video for this course, and we've mentioned that we'll be having 10 videos like this. So this is the second video. Now we'll move on to the contents of the module, where we'll be listing or introducing ourselves to the different subtopics that we'll find in this module, theories of mental health. So now we have one, we have theories of mental health according to scholars. So that is the meaning of theories of mental health according to different scholars, and the different theories under that we can use to analyze mental health when we are talking about mental health, and different scholarly theories that we can apply or understand when we are talking about mental health. And after that, we'll move on to discuss the characteristics of people with good mental health. What are those features, the elements that we can see in people that we believe to have good mental health? How do we know that, this person is sound mentally when we are talking about his or her health? He or she is sound enough. So he is with good mental health. She is with good mental. How do we know? What are those things that will serve as that will dictate or display or depict a good mental health person to us? And after that, when we are done, we'll move on to obstacles of mental health. That is the different challenges or circumstances negatively that might be hindering mental health. So then after that, we move on to preserving mental health. How do we regulate and preserve mental health? We also address that. So let's move on to the introductory part of this module 2, which is theories of mental health. And for the theories of mental health, so according to different scholars, we have it that mental health theories provide frameworks for understanding the etiology, which can also be deduced to mean the causes. Not only that, the maintenance and treatment of mental health disorders, as well as the promotion of well-being. So in short, these theories, mental health theories, according to scholars, they are different perspectives and philosophies that provide some kind of frameworks or strategies for step-by-step guides or strategies that is used for understanding the causes of mental disorder, how to maintain mental disorder, and necessary treatment for mental disorder. Not only that, but also different ways that we can promote good or we can promote well-being, a good well-being. So now, below is an overview of the key theories that is being drawn from scholarly sources in psychology and psychiatry. The first theory that we have here is biomedical or biological model. So according to these the scholars for this theory, they view that mental disorders as brain diseases stemming from genetic predisposition, neurochemical imbalance, etc. E.g. dopamine or schizophrenia and the likes, or structural abnormalities. So they believe that mental disorder is just a brain disease. a brain disease, that it all has to do with diseases from the brain. While on the other hand, we have the psychodynamic theory, and this theory is rooted in Sigmund Freud's work. The theory emphasizes unconscious conflicts, that is, early childhood experiences and defense mechanisms as cause of mental illness. So according to this theory, on the other hand, unlike biomedical, this theory, that is psychodynamic theory, it believes that, or it emphasizes that unconscious conflicts, when there is unconscious conflicts, early childhood experience, these kind of things are those things that lead or cause mental disorder or mental illness. Early childhood experience negatively, when children are exposed to bad experiences at early stage, that this can actually cause mental disorder or mental illness. And also unconscious conflicts and defense mechanism. This, according to this theory, they will emphasize that this theory believe that this mental illness is caused by these circumstances or occurrences. So now we'll move on to the characteristics of people with good mental health. So as I've mentioned initially, that we'll also be looking at the different elements and features that we can see that will portray people with good mental health. How do we know that this person is active mentally? This person has good mental health. How do we know? So it's to know that we have that mental health. Mental health is not just limited to being okay mentally or and no, but it encompasses not just emotional well-being, just like I've said, but also how individuals think and act. The way we think and react to things all have to do with the level of our mental health. So various elements have been identified that influence mental health. So we'll be looking at these elements, or these various elements that has been identified that we can easily trace to be that it influences mental health. We have one to be that a person with strong mental health can adapt to changes effectively. So that is when we see someone that can easily adapt to changes effectively, whatever he or she is going through or comes forth in his life, any challenges he faces, or any new environment he or she found in himself or herself, he or she can easily adapt to the environment, to any changes that occur around him or him, that occurs around him or revolves around him. So we have number 2 under the characteristics of people with good mental health, to be that people with good mental health possess a sense of self-value, believing they are worthwhile and significant. That is, they don't feel less of themselves. People with good mental health, they don't feel less of themselves. They feel like oh, I'm doing the right thing, I can do it. There is no need. They believe in themselves and they believe they are worthwhile, so they worth something in the society, and they are very significant in any aspect they found themselves. So they don't just they don't feel less of themselves, let's put it that way. So now the third characteristics of people with good mental health, the third thing that will be the third element is mentally healthy individuals, they primarily depend on their own abilities to address issues and reach decisions. This is to advancedly portray and discuss the number 2 elements that we mentioned, characteristics that we mentioned. They believe people that are mentally stable or healthy, they believe that there is no anything or any situation that they come across that they can't address by themselves. They believe in their own ability to address issues and reach decisions. They don't go around asking for too much unnecessary help, or fearing the fear of making decisions when it is necessary. They make decisions when it is necessary, and they make the right thing, and they stand by their decisions. So these are another characteristics that we can see in people with good mental health. They primarily depend on themselves. They depend on their abilities to make the decisions, and even if everything's going north, they are still there. They believe they are mentally agile and stable and healthy to face any circumstances or pressures that comes afterwards. So now we have the fourth characteristics of mental health that we'll be looking at is that they feel secure personally. That is, people with good mental health, they feel secure personally. Not only secure personally, but and also comfortable in social settings and empathetic toward other situations and intention. And they feel secure personally. This is self-explanatory, and we can easily trace what it implied. So they also feel comfortable in social settings. They are not the set of people that are always feeling shy or trying to hide from social gathering. In social settings, they feel comfortable and they react comfortably, openly to everybody, and empathetic. They feel there is this kind of empathy in them towards other cause issues and in intentions. So when there are people around there that have issue, they feel this kind of empathy. They are just normal people with good health and that they are psychologically and mentally healthy. So now we have the next characteristics of people with good health is such people exhibit a sense of accountability. Yes, they display a sense of a high level sense of accountability. They feel that I'm accountable for this. So whatever comes, they feel they are accountable for it. They don't deny judgment or penalty or responsibility. There is this sense of responsibility, high level of being responsible and accountable in them. So and lastly, they are capable of both offering and accepting affection. So that is that they are mentally healthy in the sense that they are capable of offering and also accepting affections. So we have some set of people that to even be affectionate with them is a big problem. To show love to them is a big issue. Even when you are showing love, they see it as something else, probably because they are not mentally fit. It's not even probably, that is definitely because they are not mentally healthy or mentally fit. So they can, even if you show affection to them, they can't reciprocate well enough. While we also have some set of people that they can actually reciprocate well enough, but when you show it to them, they feel some. When you show love to them or affection to them, they feel somehow. So when you see people that can actually that are capable of both accepting and offering affections to people, so they feel like this is another characteristics of people with good mental health. So now let's move to the next subtopic under this module, theories in mental health. We have obstacles to mental health. What are those things that is hindering mental health, challenges and obstacles to mental health? So now we have that according to the National Alliance of Mental Illness, that's NAMI, approximately in 5 US adults faces mental health issues annually. Approximately 1 in 5. Sorry about that. Approximately 1 in 5 US adults faces mental health issues annually. This is to tell you how it is. So numerous risk factors heighten the chance of experiencing diminished mental health. So potential risks for mental health include the following. Potential These below are the potential risks for mental health. We have one, discrimination. So these are like the obstacles to mental health when there is a discriminating environment. When someone found him or herself, someone that is not mentally healthy or mentally capable to handle some kind of issues or discrimination. So when he or she found himself or herself in a discriminating environment, this will appear to be a great obstacle to his or her mental health. And secondly, we have traumatic experiences. So when some people are they're traumatized by some occurrences that has happened in their past. So all these things are obstacles to mental health. They are like challenges. They block proper mental health. They block good mental health. Yes. So now we have the third one to be genetic predisposition to mental disorders. We have some people out there that they are just open genetically. They are exposed to mental disorders genetically. So and the fourth one is financial hardship. And this is very, very raging and very, very common in this century that we are now. When there is little financial hardship, some people that they are not mentally stable or mentally healthy to handle the kind of pressures and hardship that comes when you are financially unstable. So they tend to face they tend to be a great obstacle to proper mental health or good mental health. So, and we have chronic health conditions. This is one of the obstacles to mental health when there is health condition that has gone beyond measure. Then we have limited access to healthcare. Even if there is health condition, if people are having proper or they have proper access to healthcare, at least we can still fight mental health. So we can still attain proper or good mental health there. But when there is limited access to healthcare, this is one of the obstacles to a good mental health, and it is very draining and challenging. So we have the last one to be diminished self-worth. This is when people does not have they feel less of themselves, they don't value themselves, they don't know what's the worth or the value that they can add to the society or to the community as a whole. They feel diminished. So now let's move on to the next subtopic, which is preserving mental health. How do we preserve mental health? So now the US Department of Health and Human Services, they suggest several strategies to foster and sustain mental health. These strategies include the following. We have one to be engaging in consistent physical activities, be physically fit, that is engaging in physical different activities, be it exercise, sports and the likes, jogging and different kind of exercise and all sport activities, to be able to, in order to stay physically fit. Now the second strategy that is sustain mental health according to the US Department of Health and Humanitarian Services is ensuring adequate rest. Make sure you can't just go out there and be a workaholic all the time trying to get set things together, and without having a proper rest or adequate rest, it will definitely bounce back. So in order to preserve mental health, individuals, the person must definitely have adequate or proper rest. And we have the third one to be assisting others. When you see people in problem or having issues, you seek out them and assist. And in this way, the way you think or the way you see things will definitely be different, and it will definitely boost or contribute positively to the community. And the fourth one is acquiring new techniques for managing stress. Make sure you try to make some research or different techniques to be able to handle stress when you are passing through stress or going through stress. The ability to in order to preserve mental health, you must be able to maintain or acquire different techniques in handling or managing stress. We all go through stress every day out there, but the way we manage our stress is quite different. So, and it tells and matters a lot. So we have the fifth one to be maintaining connections with people. Try to connect with people with that are like-minded, with the right proper mentality no. So you try to make connect and network with people. And the last one is cultivating an optimistic outlook on life. So make sure you are the invest. Another way to preserve mental health is being optimistic in life. So now, if facing challenges, seeking assistance is crucial. Well, we are facing one challenge or the other, you seek assistance. It is very important for supporting enhancing mental health or addressing issues. You make sure to reach out to a physician or mental health expert that can actually be of good help or good service with good service. Now, in conclusion, we've been able to see that mental health is a very complex and multifaceted concept that encompasses emotional, psychological, and social well-being. The various theories that was mentioned in this module and models of mental health, which include the biomedical, psychodynamic, behavioral, cognitive, humanistic, and social theories, they have been able to provide frameworks for understanding the causes, the maintenance, and the treatment of mental disorders. So we believe that in this module we have we have been able to address the causes, the maintenance, preserving, the obstacles, and the treatment to have a proper the treatment of mental disorder in order to have a proper mental health society, a good mental health society. The characteristics, moving on, the characteristics of people with good mental health. has also been addressed, such as awareness, self-awareness, emotional regulation,